Hey YouTube, Dave here with Digital Days Gaming. You are about to listen to an interview with Nick Scurr, producer from Ubisoft Leamington, on Tom Clancy's The Division 2 Warlords of New York, the newest expansion just announced this week by Ubisoft and The Division 2. Ubisoft flew me out to California with the opportunity to interview Nick, along with to capture some gameplay footage that you're watching here. So please let me know if you like the footage, let me know if you like the interview, and hopefully you'll check out the other video with the impressions that we are posting today as well. All right, we are at a Ubisoft event for The Division 2, Warlords of New York, which is an expansion that they just announced, correct?
That's correct, yes.
If you can introduce yourself to everyone, please.
My name's Nick Scurr, and I'm a producer at Ubisoft Leamington on Division 2 Warlords of New York.
So tell me exactly what is Warlords of New York?
So Warlords of New York is a brand new narrative expansion to The Division 2. We're taking agents back home to New York City, this time in South Manhattan, so not the same area as Division 1. And it's set 8 months after the initial outbreak. And the reason agents are going back to New York is that Aaron Keener has resurfaced again with diabolical plans for the future of society. And you're tasked with hunting him down, and to do that you're going to be tasked with hunting down his 4 rogue agent lieutenants, who each have some information on what Keener's up to and where he could be in this new area of New York City.
Okay. And what would you tell somebody that maybe hasn't played The Division 2 or picked it up and played it a little bit and then stopped playing? Like, is there a barrier of entry here?
So for us, we wanted to allow players that might not even have played Division 2 before to immediately come in and be able to play the Warlords of New York expansion. So kind of 2 avenues really. If you already have Division 2 and you have your agent that's already there, you can immediately answer the distress signal that's played in game from New York City and take a helicopter over, begin the campaign. For those players that might have been Division 1 fans or maybe never even played the Division before and see this as a good time to jump in, we allow them to create a character within South Manhattan straight away, starting at level 30, because that's where this campaign starts, and immediately just jump into the expansion.
Okay. And then you guys are increasing the level cap in the game from 30 to 40 as you play through this content?
Yeah, so obviously we have lots of new gear, we've reworked the RPG system, and we have this new open-ended campaign for the players to explore, so we want players to grow as they're doing that. So yes, we've increased the level cap to 40. And then when players reach that, we also have a new infinite progression system as well, called SHD level. And players will be able to continuously level up their agent and unlock perk points that they can put into stats to keep making their agent more powerful. So it doesn't end even when you get to that 40 cap.
So you're going to continue to earn the perk points while playing through the game almost no matter what you're doing?
Yeah, everything that you do from that point, whether you're playing a new end game or just going to be playing story missions or exploring the open world, all of those activities will contribute towards this new progression system we have.
Is there anything that's in the
SHD level or shade level.
Is there anything like as an example you can give us in there that we could like use, or like as something that would be like, is there a risk reward to it?
There's no risk reward. You're basically increasing the power of your agent, so it could be headshot damage or critical hit chance, or the chance to find rare loot drops when enemies are dropping loot.
Okay. Is there any changes planned for gear score at all?
So as part of the RPG refactor, we're actually removing the gear score and simplifying the system. So once you're at level 40, all of the drops will be at level 40. And instead of focusing on gear score, we clearly point out the positives of that gear you found. We're also bringing back god rolls. And the focus really is on keeping the depth under the hood for our hardcore players, but making sure quickly at a glance you know if a gear piece is worth keeping or deconstructing or selling.
Yeah, and then like Warlords of New York is kind of like your guys' pinnacle. Show me that all the changes you guys have been making through updating streamlining the gear and changing the skill talents and everything like that. Yep. And this is kind of like the culmination of, okay, we fixed all the stuff that from player feedback, and here's your content to mess with.
Yeah, here's your playground. You've made all these changes, but those on their own without this content and all these new things to find, might not be as meaningful. So we wanted to deliver it as one big package for everyone. That being said, for players that don't feel ready to jump into the expansion yet, they're going to get all these benefits as well in terms of the refactored RPG as part of the title update.
I noticed in a little bit of the playtime that I got today that I started seeing more like blue guns and green guns that drop again. Was that just us playing as a new level 30 player, or if I completed Division 2's campaign, I've done World Tier 5 and all those things, and I'm going to New York, is my gear going to be relevant, or is it going to get replaced quickly?
So when the update comes out, all of the gear that you currently have will be changed to work with this new system. But then when you start the Warlords of New York expansion, you're going to start finding a ton of new stuff. And as we said in the presentation, we want all the loot to be meaningful, so you're eventually going to find all these new guns, gear, brand sets, and you'll start building new builds, and very quickly you'll be able to diversify the way you're playing and the tools and things that you're using. So yes, when you started then, because you were level 30, you'd start seeing green drops again, but as soon as you start hitting that cap, you'll start seeing your purples, your golds, and hopefully if you're lucky.
During the presentation as well, you guys talked about going after the lieutenants, and then the lieutenants are going to reward us with new skills.
Yeah, so these are rogue agents, so they have access to the same kind of technology that the player's using, and they really utilise that in the boss fights. Some of them are multi-staged, and these are actual, hardcore bosses in their own right, and they'll be utilising those skills against you. But as we said, once you defeat them, you'll take those and use those yourself in your hunt down for the other rogue lieutenants, and Aaron Keener himself.
And then what's your goal with endgame player engagement in terms of how to balance New York and DC? Like, are we still trying to keep DC content relevant?
Yeah, so once you complete the campaign and reactivate seasons, which is going to be about a week after launch of Warlords of New York, we have a lot of activities in our end game, and the purpose behind seasons is to give players some focus and know that if I spend time on this, I'm going to be rewarded for it. I know where to go and what to do. But the actual seasonal end game itself can be played in Washington DC or New York. We're not restricting it to any set area. There may be some league challenges that say you need to go and play this mission in Washington or this mission in New York, but things like global events will affect both maps.
Yeah, so can you elaborate on the seasons a little bit? I mean, you just said global events, which is something the community's been hoping for since Division 1, obviously.
Yeah, so obviously a very popular feature. In Season 1, there are going to be 3 global events, which is really cool, and all 3 of them are very different and alter the way you play. And as the player plays those, there are challenges tied into those global events that unlock each day and give the player rewards.
And then I know a focus a lot early on with Division 2 was a lot about DPS, like damage per second.
Yeah.
And now, like something you guys emphasized to us today was making viable build diversity. Obviously, like we've done that through some of the changes to the skill tree and how the talents are applied and everything like that. Can you elaborate more on the build diversity of not worrying strictly about just literally peppering as many bullets as I can?
Exactly. So, currently skills and the different power levels on skills are tied behind skill power, and it can be quite difficult to get a build that unlocks the kind of higher tier power levels on skills. So we've done away with that and come in with a skill tier system, and you can clearly see on gear how much that's going to contribute towards your skill tiers. It's not a high number. I think they're at X amount of levels, but just to say 4 for sake of argument now. And you can see if I equip these gloves, that's going to give me 1 skill tier. This mask is going to give me another 1. So you can quickly see how you can build a skill power build and unlock the potential of all the skills in the game.
And then you guys didn't go into too much detail about it. Can you kind of shining more light on the recalibration system and the changes that are being made to that?
Yeah, so for the recalibration system, what we're allowing the player to do is if they find a nice chest piece with a nice stat on it, say it's a god roll on damage. These numbers aren't final, but if there was a 20% damage boost on this piece of armour, but you didn't want the armour itself, you had another favourite chest piece that you really liked, you can actually deconstruct that piece of armour and store that stat in a library to then apply to all chest pieces in future. So it's almost like a collection of stats that you can store up and then apply going forward.
And then Warlords of New York is coming out March, right?
It's coming out on March the 3rd on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC, and then it will be coming to Google Stadia later on.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.